It is just 3 days until Election Day. One thing at stake here in Minnesota is the House of Representatives. Right now, of course, Democrats have the governorship, the House, and the Senate, but that could change. Fox 9's Leon Purvis joins us live outside the Capitol after speaking to a political analyst on why this is. Leon?
Karen, the Republicans only had to flip 4 seats to take control of the state House. That would leave Democrats with the governorship and state Senate.
The most optimistic estimates are there are up to 15 races that are possibly flippable.
15 possible, but political analyst David Schultz really thinks it will come down to 7 to 10 races, giving Republicans multiple pathways to potentially take control of the Minnesota House of Representatives, or not.
No one really can be sure. Are the Democrats in a good position of holding on? Are the Republicans in a good position?
2 years ago, the Democrats won the House, Senate, and governorship. Schultz says Dems won by a razor-thin margin.
There was about 4 races in the House of Representatives that collectively were decided by less than 2,000 votes.
If Democrats hold on to the trifecta and win the House, they will be able to continue to do what they've been doing without compromise. But if Republicans take control of the state House, things would change.
The Democrats are going to have to negotiate with the Republicans. And this is going into a legislative session where the estimates are that the state will be dealing with a structural deficit.
With a close race nationally and possibly here in the land of 10,000 lakes, knowing who controls the House could be up in the air for an uncertain amount of time.
I think it's unlikely that the House of Representatives in Minnesota will be called on election night. If some of those races are as close as I think they're going to be, they may not be called for several days.
Schultz adds even if the state House is called after several days, there could be recounts in some of those races, which could potentially drag it out for several weeks. Live outside the Capitol, Leon Purvis, Fox 9.